everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I've gotten a lot of requests for more raw vegan recipes, so I'm excited to share in this video one of my favorites during the cooler months. That was my little baby boy, Sky, picking out some ingredients. If you're new to this channel, my name is Tumi. I am a medical doctor, a poet, and a dancer, raw vegan for 9 years plus now, and I love making videos on this channel around holistic well-being, um, plant-based nutrition, raw veganism, minimalism, and just how to live your best, most delicious life, infused with my dance. If any of that is of interest to you, then consider subscribing down below. Today's recipe is my tomato pepper soup. Soup in the fall and the winter can feel so soothing, and this one has lots of warming spices, not to mention that it's rich in anti-inflammatory ingredients and bursting with vitamin C. So let's get started with it. And it starts here with mushrooms. We have here dried shiitake mushrooms and some fresh oyster mushrooms that we scored locally. Mushrooms are amazing for the immune system, and they are rich with beta-glucans, which are antioxidants that support the body in fighting infection. So I like to start this recipe a few hours before I'm planning to eat by cutting up the mushrooms I have on deck and marinating them in a nut milk that you like. I have walnut milk, but you can use hemp seed milk, almond milk, whatever you have. I have about a third a cup or less, a fourth a cup of walnut milk. And I add to that some spices and something to give it a little bit of umami. So this might look like coconut aminos or miso, fermented miso. I'm going to add the following spices to my marinade. I apologize, the camera is jerky because I'm holding my baby boy in one hand. I added chili, a couple of dried chili, some curry, which has turmeric in it. You can also just use turmeric powder. Balak, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. This is wild ginger. Wild garlic, or chamash in Slovene. This is black pepper. I like to use peppercorns that I grind fresh into the soup. So I like to put all those spices into the nut milk, stir it really well, and then after that I will pour this marinade. It's a thick base now onto the mushrooms, and then they'll sit all together, the mushrooms soaking up the milk, soaking up the spices, sit there for several hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours if you have the time. These ones sat for about 2 hours. And then when it's about 10 minutes before you'd like to eat, you can then make the rest of the soup, and it really takes about 5 minutes. So here are the rest of the ingredients for the soup. I use some sun-dried tomatoes, maybe about 2 tablespoons, about a sixth of an onion, red bell pepper, and a whole red bell pepper, and a whole tomato, medium tomato, both of which are bursting in vitamin C. Again, I apologize for the shaky camera, but I was balancing Sky and the camera in one hand, and he was really interested in holding that camera. I put dates in, so I like 5 dates. You can do just 4. I like it on the sweeter side, like a caramelized tomato pepper flavor. And I have a whole head of lettuce that I eat on the side with the soup. I'm just showing that. I have a little bit of wakame that I will show you later that I cut and sprinkle on the bottom of the soup, and then blend that in or mix that in with the soup. And so at this point, I then take that marinated mushroom mix and I pour that through a strainer so the liquid drains into my high-speed blender, or a regular blender if you have that, that's fine. and all that's left on the top are the now seasoned fluffy mushrooms. I will put the mushrooms aside and then I will use the liquid in the blender as my base to blend all the rest of the ingredients. One thing I forgot with this specific recipe today was to add in, please do this, a cup of a ginger nettle brew. Trust me on this, it will take the soup to the next level. And all that looks like is a thumb size of ginger, some nettle if you got it, all in a cup of water that's been warmed or just sat in the sun. Pour all of that in, and that will make the soup a little bit on the more thin side. My soup ended up being too thick and chunky for, too thick, not too chunky. Here's a side note, that's our compost pot. And I just am showing you that to just invite you to compost whenever you can. I always say that the health of our environment is deeply connected to our personal health. So, composting is a wonderful way to give back to Mama Earth, and in turn, that gives to our health. I talk a lot about other aspects of holistic health outside of food. I include food, but I talk about rest and movement play and nature and love as being vital components for true well being. And they have been vital for me in staying raw and staying healthy. If you're interested in my book, please check the link down in the description box below. Back to the recipe. So you then blend all the ingredients, the tomato, the red bell pepper, the onion, the dates, the brewed tea, all of that goes in that I showed you, and you just blend until it's a creamy, smooth consistency. And after that, I then pour that over those mushrooms, remember from the beginning, as well as cut up wakame. You can use whatever seaweed you enjoy, but I love seaweed to give it extra iodine and minerals in general, and it gives a salty flavor. If you do not like that salty sea flavor, skip it. And so here is the final version of it. So I poured the blender ingredients onto the mushrooms. Mix well so you can taste the mushroom, you can taste the wakame. I cut up some chives and chili pepper on top for added flavor. And there is the meal. Bon appetit. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with anyone you think might benefit. Subscribe for more videos like this and click the notifications bell to know when I share more videos. Thank you for watching. Much love. Delicious.